Lamenting the fact when I went through that Colossus kit a couple of weeks ago about how there hasn't been any innovation in the space of starter kits in a while, and then I came across this thing, and let's try opening it again. This is the Key Studio, not a sponsor, smart home kit for Arduino, and this is very similar, at least in concept, to that OSOU kit that I looked at last year and actually became a finalist in the Kit of the Year Awards. And so this has a similar concept where you're actually building a little house and you're putting the different Arduino sensors in there and trying to see how those things all work together. And I love this idea. In fact, my only issue with the OSOU kit was that they used the Arduino Uno instead of a different board. It just didn't work well for me, and so I am hoping that Key Studio learned from OSOU and made something that is better. So let's open it up. Now, I can tell from the side here, let's see, it says it's got like an app, so I'm guessing there's some kind of app integration in here. Let's take a look, see what we got. We have the Smart Home Kit KS0085, and it shows here an Uno and a bunch of stuff. We don't need to look and see what's in the kit. Let's just open it up. As you saw, if you watched Simple Electronics video or any of the Key Studio unboxings, I really like the quality of their boards. I like their packaging. I like all that kind of stuff. They just do it well. It's got a micro USB cable, screwdriver, 6 AA battery pack, and a whole bunch of laser cut wood. So let's pull this out over here. We have the 1602 display. Let's see if they put the little backpack on there so I can wire it with just 4 wires. They did. Good job, Key Studio. They added the little backpack instead of having to wire all these individual things up here. They took care of us with this one, so very nice. This is the Arduino Uno Plus, and I've seen this before. I believe this was in the Key Studio Scale, maybe. Let's look at this. This is... Look at that. Like, that is just pretty. I've got a regular Arduino around here. Let me grab it. Okay, again, not a sponsor, but the idea that they give you all these extra headers over here so that you have a power, ground, and signal for every single one of the pins, that's just the right way to do it. That's just quality. I guess this one doesn't have it for every single one of them, but it has it for a lot of the pins. So I like that. The board is clean. The board is well labeled, clear labels. You've got a 5-volt or 3V3. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen an Arduino Uno with a 5-volt or 3V3. I'm guessing that's for these things. So very cool. Okay. I've seen a lot of different Arduino Unos. Never seen this one. Then on top of it, we've got this sensor shield here. And I just did one of these in the Colossus kit. This is a slightly different form factor, but same thing. This gives you power, ground, and signal for all of the different pins on the board, as well as a capacitor, smooth out that power. And this is, I forget, I just looked it up. So we've got a serial connector here, which would work for Bluetooth. And we have this thing. I always forget what that little sensor is, but there maybe a gyroscope, I don't know. But there's a special communications port there. So very cool. We have a lot of wires. I do like one thing I'm seeing. Actually, these are different color. I don't think I've ever seen this this color pattern before. So this is very interesting. This just looks different. Let me grab another set here. It's really weird because these are all, identical, but they're just yeah, I've never seen them in these bold colors, and I don't know if you can tell how different that is there, but yeah, never seen quite that ordering, never seen quite that bold of colors in these jumper wires. But one thing I do like here is that these are twisted and have pre-attached DuPont connectors, three a piece on there, so very sweet. Let's look at the accessories box. If you haven't seen it, I made a video where I took an entire Key Studio 37 sensor kit and hooked it up all at once. And so this isn't quite going to be 37 sensors, but let's see what we've got here. We've got a couple of your standard servos. Yep, they're just the standard 9G plastic servos. We've got a single channel relay, 5-volt trigger, up to 10 amps on 250 volts. This is a touch sensor. Have a clickety-click button. Should see another one of those here. And we have a motor. Oh, I like the motor on the Shield. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. You've got the driver chip built in. You've got a 4-pin interface, and you've got the motor. Let me pull this out of the bag. I like that form factor. That's very cool. So you've got your little prop here. Let's see. I'm not going to put the cap on the end, but very cool. You've got a little motor there with the driver built in. I like that. I like that form factor. That's very sweet. Yep, this is the HC05. Could be an HC06. Let's see. It just calls itself a Bluetooth V3. So this one might be slightly different, but this is one of the Bluetooth modules, basically plug and play. Very cool. Have a soil moisture sensor. This is a photocell. It's an LED. Let's see, is it RGB? Looks like a single color LED from here. I guess I could look here. Yeah, it's a single color LED. Yellow LED. The my favorite gas sensor. Love those things. Got a buzzer, a PIR motion detector, and a crap ton of screws. And if you've ever put together any of the Key Studio stuff, you'll appreciate that they're well labeled. It's a little thing to put a sticker on them, but I definitely have to say that's a nice touch to do that. So when you're looking at the manual, you don't have to sit there and measure these things or look at little handwritten labels. So that is the unboxing of the Key Studio kit. I will show you this real quick. These are the wooden parts. Look like they've been cut out on a laser. There's even little rubber feet in here. So the little house snaps together. Okay, I like that. I like the fact that they etched the name of the part on there. They etched the sensor number. That might even be the pin number for all I know. But that is very well done. I've never seen that level of detail. I know I'm kind of raving about this kit, but I like, I see so many kits. I see so many things that are put together just so poorly that little things like that it makes a big difference. So I'm going to build this thing and see what we think. So this thing took about an hour and 15 minutes to put together. I actually stripped the top back off because I wanted you guys to be able to see what it looked like on the inside. And so they did some very cool things. It's got, as you can see over here, it's got a wooden gear that drives this window open and closed, which I think is pretty sweet. There's a little, I guess you can see it right here, a little revolving door that's controlled with these two wooden gears. You've got your LCD. There's a lot of different ways you can use this thing. I started using it on the app itself. A lot of times I do just the Arduino code, so I thought it'd be kind of interesting to use the Android app that they have. Now, one of the things I would say as I looked at it, I mean, this kit is only 10 or 15 days old. Like, I got it pretty much right when they put it on Amazon, and so I'm sure there'll be some updates and stuff to it, but for the most part, not even for the most part, like, it worked out of the box. To give you an idea about the documentation, they did something that I really liked. They went through all the individual sensors first and gave example codes for buttons and LEDs and PIR sensors and all that kind of stuff. So before you even started messing with putting the wood together and all that kind of stuff, you're learning about how the sensors work. You're using their example code, you're uploading code, all that kind of stuff. So I think that's the right way to do it, because like I said, I mean, I understand that stuff, so I built this kit in an hour and 15 minutes, but if you were really trying to learn, there's a week's worth of fun in here. And so you learn about the relays, you learn about all these different parts, and then when you're done, each of these panels is basically a set of instructions. So what I really like is that they give you these things in a lot of different ways. So they'll show you the blank panel, then they'll show you all the stuff you need for it, and then they'll show you it assembled, and they'll give you a couple different views of it. And I would say that that is pretty primo in terms of the instructions for an Arduino kit. And I have a laser cutter, so I appreciate this. I think this is kind of cool. I saved a couple of these for you guys. But all the random parts were done on one little sheet, and they were done really well. And one of the things I like are these little T connectors. And I laser cut boxes, and you've probably seen my Raid My Lab button and stuff like that. And the thing with the laser is that it's so accurate that you can basically snap these parts together, and it's so tight it's nearly impossible to get them apart without breaking them. So what they did is they made these little T connectors that you can slide in here, and they, you know, hold the thing together with some pressure. They look decent, but you're able to get them back apart. And so I think that's a very good move on their part, doing that. They did just an excellent job on the laser cutting too. It's not charred on the edges. You know, there's just enough of a little tab here to hold the parts in place, but not enough that the parts come out all chipped. Just a really, I mean, I'm impressed. So putting the thing together, let me plug it in. Now I should note that I have the roof off for visibility, and I think I called this a touch sensor, but it's actually a steam sensor. The idea of this house is, you know, if the humidity is high, it's going to open up a window, turn on the fan. It's really, really cool the way they thought that through. For the sake of the video, I've unplugged the buzzer so we don't have to listen to anything. And I'm not going to use these sensors in the demo right here. But if I were to fire up the app, some of the wording is off a little bit, but when it's highlighted blue, that actually means that you're connected, and you would have to hit the button to disconnect. But you can see, let me open up the door here. You can see that as I do this, that door spins. And I think that's pretty fun. I don't have the gas sensor hooked up, but as I hit the gas button, I can see what the readings are on the analog sensor. Same thing you can see over here, the window. If I were to slide this, yo, I was already over one direction. Oh, that's the door. Same thing, you can see the window. Let me put it this way. Come on. You can snap the door open and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's very cool. Turn the little yellow light on. I just think it's a very cool thing. And all the example codes there, this is literally just me loading up their example code. So when it's all said and done, I believe this comes on this way. This other panel comes on this way, and something like that. Maybe it's the other way. And you've got a complete little house over here, and I think that's pretty fun. I think it's an impressive kit. I think it's at least worthy for Kit of the Year nomination. So we'll see. What do you think? Let me know what you think of the form factor. One more thing I do want to add is that I really do appreciate that they give you. I'm going to pull this in frame here. They do leave you with extra wires, extra screws, and this isn't just because I didn't put everything together. These are actual things that they provided, and I think that's a really good move also, because I'd much rather have 10 extra screws than one short. So the last few things I wanted to show you are that this will make some people really happy. This is actually a USB-C port over here on the side, and I know people love those on their Arduinos. For me, all my USB-C cables are scattered around for charging phones and stuff like that, so I don't really love to use them for the Arduino projects, but it does have a USB-C, and it comes with a USB-C cable. So the way this thing goes together, we're just going to snap this way. And while I have this out, I want to show you this also. This is the screwdriver that I bought in that set of Amazon returns. And for stuff like this, it is so handy. You just put it on here, and it's got crazy amounts of torque, and it's just real quick. So I think that's pretty sweet. I'm not going to plug these cables in right now for this demo, but I'm going to put this in here, and we'll get this to snap on, and then we bring this over here and grab a couple of those T connectors. So what do you guys think of this kit? What do you think of the form factor? What do you think of the idea of kind of doing more practical smart home application stuff for teaching Arduino? You think it's worth it? I feel like it's like 59 bucks, so you know, definitely more expensive than buying the parts separately, but there's a lot of value in all the instruction and even the form factor, just in terms of getting people to be interested in it. So that is the Key Studio KS0085 Smart Home Kit. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.